NASA's Moon Mission. On July 20, 1969, when Neil Armstrong and his other astronaut companions returned to their vehicle after exploring the moon, they got a strange smell. This smell was of the moon. We knew that there is no air on the moon, but that day, we came to know for the first time that there is a smell on the moon. The smell was coming from the astronauts' spacesuits. Astronaut Buzz Aldrin said that it was exactly like the smell left in the air when a firecracker explodes. In 1960, the Apollo program was named by NASA. The main objective of this mission was to land humans on the moon in the next 10 years. A total of 11 space flight plans were made in the Apollo program that started in 1961. Of these, 4 flights were for equipment testing, and 6 of the other 7 space flights landed humans on the moon. The crew mission started in 1968, and its final mission ended in 1972. By then, the Apollo missions had landed a total of 12 astronauts on the moon, who in turn brought the stones and other materials on the moon to Earth. Today, even after 50 years, many discoveries are being made with the help of these samples. At the time, in 1957, Russia was leading in space missions and launched its satellite named Sputnik into space. Then, the American president of the time, John F. Kennedy, challenged NASA to get humans on the moon before any other country. Being a very nascent organization at that time, this task was a difficult task for NASA. The first step in the preparation for the Apollo mission was the Mercury program. Mercury was NASA's first human spaceflight program. This mission had only 2 objectives. The first was to see whether humans can work in space, and second, to send humans into space before the Soviet Union. America could not do the second thing but succeeded in its first objective. It prepared 7 original astronauts for sending them to space. However, the first living creature that flew in the Mercury mission was a chimpanzee. NASA sent a chimpanzee first because they were afraid of any unforeseen disaster, which came out to be true. The chimpanzee was, however, saved, and the program was considered successful. To make the Apollo mission a success, NASA shifted to its next mission, which is the Gemini program. The Mercury program ran from 1959 to 1963, followed by the Gemini program, which ended in 1966. The Gemini program was most important for the Apollo mission, in which astronauts had to receive physical and mental tests for more than 2 weeks. Meanwhile, astronauts also learned to dock in space and other flight maneuvers. Astronauts in the Gemini program also learned to do spacewalk in zero gravity, which was especially difficult. Most of the astronauts who underwent the rigorous training of Gemini also landed on the moon in the Apollo mission. The total cost of this mission was around $28 billion. NASA had made many rockets to go to the moon, the most famous rocket being the Saturn V rocket. This rocket was as tall as a 36-story building. This launch was divided into 3 parts. At the top of the rocket was the Apollo Command Module, accommodating 3 astronauts, after which comes the Lunar Module, with a capacity of sitting 2 astronauts. After finishing their mission on the surface of the moon, the astronauts came back to the Apollo Command Module, sitting in this Lunar Module, which would take them back to Earth. In the end, there was the Saturn V rocket, which was going to take both these components out of the Earth's orbit with its power. Very few people know that the very first few tests of the Apollo mission were done with the Saturn I rocket, which was a smaller version of the Saturn V rocket. But unfortunately, a major accident happened with this rocket, and 3 astronauts lost their lives due to a spark in the wiring, which caused the rocket to catch fire and destroy the entire command module. This failure was a huge turning point for the Apollo program. After this accident, scientists made many design changes in the command module and also sent 6 other crewed missions into space with the Saturn V rocket. The first successful crewed mission was launched as Apollo 7. Astronauts went safely into the Earth's orbit by sitting in this rocket. After Apollo 7, Apollo 8 was a mission that took the astronauts to the moon for the first time. But these astronauts did not land on the moon's surface. Instead, they returned after roaming around the moon. When this mission was taken, the world's most famous photo, the Earth's Rise, was also taken. Finally, Apollo 11 gave humans a chance to step on the moon. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin remained on the lunar surface for approximately 21 hours and 36 minutes, after which they returned to their command module and from there proceeded towards the Earth. While the Apollo 11 mission is known for its success, the Apollo 13 mission, on the other hand, is known for surviving a horrendous crash that happened as its oxygen tank had a hole in it, causing an explosion. Through hard work and clever engineering methods, the crew members were able to land safely. There were many other accidents during the Apollo missions. Even Neil Armstrong himself had a narrow escape in an accident when he was piloting the Lunar Landing Research Vehicle in 1969. By the 1970s, the moon mission slowed down and America put all the funding for the Apollo mission in Vietnam. Apollo 17 was the last launch of this mission. Now, NASA is preparing to go to the moon again through its Artemis mission to explore the possibilities of human settlement on the moon. This is all about today's video. Please like, share, and comment your views. Thank you for watching.